Shut up and sit down.
Welcome into another Read Out podcast. I am your absentee co-host, Jake. How are we doing tonight, Devin?
Doing good. Thanks again. Glad to be here, and just want to remind our listeners, if you're enjoying what you're hearing, smash that like button, subscribe on YouTube, and don't forget to follow us on Twitter at Readout1906.
That's right. We burn up Twitter, or at least I do. Devin gets on there every once in a while, but I'm kind of glued to it pretty much all day.
Yeah, I'm more of a sit back and read and watch and see what's going on, and I like to comment every now and then, see what's going on.
And I'm a yell at the screen, comment on things way too quickly kind of guy.
That's okay.
It's good. It takes all kinds. So what do we want to talk about tonight?
Well, I guess let's update everybody. Last night we just basically did a WKU football special.
Mm-hmm.
So we went out and Logan and I sat down and graded out the entire season I should say, sorry. And actually, Logan was harder on the coaching staff and the players, I think, than I was. I can't find his grade sheet. Actually, I think I wadded it up here. Let me see.
Wad. Crackle, crackle.
Yeah, actually, he graded the players a little higher than I did. Let me see, what was my final?
So was he harder on the coaching staff than you were, but better on the
Yeah,
players?
he was a little. Yeah, we actually assigned numerical value to what the grades were and stuff.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So we would say B plus, B, C, C plus, whatever.
There were a certain amount of points.
Looks like the players on Logan's ended up a B plus, and I think with me they ended up with a C. And I think for mine, the coaches ended up 1 point less.
Interesting.
Because there
Logan's
were some,
or the players.
And with Logan's, crap, what did I do with it?
Crinkle, crackle.
I just wanted it back up. The coaches ended up 3 points less. So, it was a little different.
That's not
it was
too
just
far off,
interesting to see how we both decided, how games went and how, maybe this game it fell more on the players, maybe this game it fell more on the coaches, and it was a nice discussion. So if you missed that episode, go back and listen to that, because we're not going to be talking football anymore.
And as sad as I am to say it, I'm kind of thank you, God, because it's just let's move on. We got to get the bad out. Okay, let's just move past it. It's on to recruiting, signing day, and next season for football. But for now, we're going to talk about the sports that are currently in action. So do you want to talk about volleyball for a second? Because they're in action tomorrow, actually.
Yeah, they had their selection show this past Sunday, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And so Lady Topper Volleyball is going to be facing Notre Dame on Friday. Are they ranked? I didn't see anywhere where they were ranked.
I wasn't sure. I'm not sure if they're ranked. I actually ended up looking at their roster because my boss is a huge Notre Dame fan. She's from southern Michigan. Her family's from Indiana, so they're all big Fighting Irish. Blah. So I've been giving crap about it all week. And I do not know their rank. I know they're 12-8 in ACC play because that's the conference they participate in volleyball. And they have 9 losses on the season, so only one out of conference loss. I think maybe 22 wins. I'm not for certain. Anyways, they're pretty tall, I'll have to say, and they do have a larger roster than we do as far as people that are available. I'll say, however, the Lady Tops is if you look at their median height, is actually about 2 inches taller than Notre Dame. So, if you split it up, we have more kind of average height or median height than they do, but they've got 5 girls that are 6'2". Now they don't all start at the same time. They rotate in and out, but this ought to be a really good battle. And the cool thing is, it's if you guys haven't already got your tickets, you can get them at the door. They're only $10, and it's at Memorial Coliseum on UK's campus. So you can go watch the Lady Tops rock where Rupp used to stomp people. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity. And when they win on Friday,
that's right.
They will play Saturday, and they'll play the winner of UK versus East Tennessee State. and I'm going to go ahead and say that number 4 UK will probably be there waiting for them.
Yeah, man,
So
that
we'll
would
just
be
have to
such a
see how
good
that
matchup.
goes.
I'd love to have an in-state thing going on. That would be just awesome.
Do what now, bub?
Oh, I was just saying that I would love to have an in-state second round going on in
Oh
Memorial.
yeah,
That would
that
be
would be
so awesome.
awesome. I agree completely. Sorry, you're kind of cutting in and out on me a little bit, but it's fine.
No worries.
Looks like Lady Topper basketball is at a 2-game winning streak, which hey, I'll hopefully make that 3 tonight. They are actually started about 35 minutes ago. It's 8 o'clock, 8:35 our time. Let me see if I can pull up an update real quick
Yeah,
here.
see what they're doing, because I know they just came off a really hot win streak at that Georgia, was it Georgia State or Georgia Southern Invitational?
Yes, it was Georgia State,
There we go.
74-63. All right, come on now.
Right?
Yeah, I got nothing. I don't know if it's just because it's not televised or what, but they're not giving any updates.
Oh man. Okay.
Um,
Well, we'll see. Hopefully they can bring home a victory. Who are they playing tonight? Is it Evansville?
they're playing Evansville.
Okay.
Looks like the Aces, I guess.
Evansville Aces. All right.
Yeah, so woohoo.
I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't either. I hate to say it, but I'm going to say that the Lady Tops will probably smack them around.
Here's hoping.
Um,
Oh yeah. Okay.
they
So 14 minutes ago, Lady Topper Basketball tweeted out, "It's the end of the first quarter. WKU 24, Evansville 7."
Awesome.
It's really golly.
Hey, I'm good with that.
Heck
Yeah,
yeah.
go for it, girls.
Hammer down.
Yeah, that's right. Looks like yeah, and they've. Who's the next game? Let me pull that up because I wasn't planning on them on this game being so quick. Looks like they play on the 10th, and is that Southern Illinois or is that?
Is it?
Yes,
What's
I got
their?
it.
I was about to
That's
say.
the Southern Illinois Salukis. That was one of our big opponents way back in the day when we were Gateway Conference, Ohio Valley.
Really? Did not know that.
Yes, we did play, and that was with Salukis, and I've actually been to Southern Illinois' football stadium, so fun story.
Is it any count? I mean, for their size and is it good at all? The stadium? Motherfucker.
Yeah, I completely agree. I don't know what you said.
No, I said is
All I heard
these.
was all I heard was for their size, and
Oh,
then it went
nice. I just
quiet,
meant like, is the
and then I
stadium
was like,
okay?
sorry. Yeah, I mean the city. I mean, I couldn't even tell you what the size of the city is, because it's been too long, honestly. But it's been let's see, it was probably 2006, so that's been 11 years ago. I couldn't tell you what it
Oh yeah,
was.
so the stadium probably doesn't even look the same. I mean, I know ours doesn't. So
Oh yeah, well, it's Southern Illinois. I'm assuming they're probably still same conference, everything's still the same. So I'm gonna say probably Lady Top's gonna smack them around too. Who is MVSU?
that's probably
Mississippi Valley.
okay. So that's Mississippi Valley.
Yes,
Okay.
Mississippi Valley Devils, which is pretty cool looking actually. That's a really cool looking devil.
When does
Y'all
conference
got something
play?
going there.
When does conference play start for them? For us, it starts, or for the guys, it starts on December 28th
Oh no, this looks like it's gonna be like January 4th
before they start playing
because
Conference
they've
USA's.
yeah,
Interesting.
because they've got Evansville, Southern Illinois, Mississippi Valley, State. I don't know who that is.
No idea.
Toledo, Ball State.
Oh wow.
State is Stetson. Sorry.
Stetson. Okay. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I think they
Familiar
make
with that.
boots. But yeah.
Yeah, and hats.
Toledo, Ball State, and then they play Lee. Who is Lee? Lee University.
Okay.
That's not very help. That's not helpful.
Yeah, they're non-conference. That's all
yeah,
I got.
and then January 4th we got MTSU.
Okay, so
So
yeah,
that'll be,
they don't
and then
open.
that opens the floodgates.
Okay, yeah, because then it just starts. Well, very good.
So hey, ladies, good luck. Keep the streak going, and let's see. Hopefully by January 4th. Well, let's see. Probably Toledo will probably be our next biggest opponent in Ball State. So let's see. Y'all keep the streak going until then, and we'll keep talking big about you.
That is correct. We will.
Looks like. Do you want to talk about last night's game?
So I was actually I can talk about last night's game, and I can talk about kind of the hot streak that the men's basketball team has been on, starting with Atlantis and coming into last night, if that's fine with you.
Oh yeah, go for it, man.
So I have not watched every game because I am cheap and have not paid for all of those games. However, I have either listened to or looked at the box scores, whatever it is, and other than the loss to Villanova, Tops have been on fire. So coming into the battle for Atlantis, we knew we were going to open up against Villanova. Now currently, when we played them, they were either ranked number 5 or number 3 in the AP and the coaches. Now I personally
Villanova was number 5, I believe, when we
yeah,
played them.
they were 5 in the AP and they were 3 in the coaches. I like the AP better than the coaches, but personally, I like KenPom and the Sagarin ratings a little better than the media votes. If you go by KenPom, right now Nova's number 2 in the country.
Really?
Or
wow.
they're number 4. They're number 4 in the AP. So I mean, they haven't lost. They've been killing it. They won the battle for Atlantis.
Hey, that's good for us too. I mean, we only lost by 8 to Villanova.
Our strength go ahead.
Yeah, but I was just gonna say, losing by 8, and maybe they're potentially the number 2 team in the country. That says a lot for our team.
It's awesome, and a young team with only 7 scholarship players, only 8 players total with Tyler Miller, the walk-on. That game was awesome. It's sad that their threes started falling in the second half, but
yeah,
I mean, it's eventually going to happen with Villanova. It's eventually going to happen. Threes are going to start falling. It's how they won the national championship the other year. Like, that's what we forget. I mean, Villanova's only like a year, like 2 seasons out from winning the national championship, and we hung with them and only lost by 8. That is huge. So I listened to that game while I was at work. I got absolutely nothing done. We led for almost the entire first half, and that was just it was so awesome. And Darius Thompson led the way in that one with 16 total points, followed by Dwight Colby. Let me tell you, Dwight Colby is 100% man.
That's great, yeah.
When I get to last night's game, he had some slams that are just outrageous. So after losing to Villanova, we played Purdue, and that was a game that honestly coming in, I thought, let's go get this, because we hung with a team that's much better than Purdue. We could have won if it hadn't been for, a little bit of sloppy play and just Villanova being great. And that's exactly what the Tops went out and did. They beat them 77-73. We led for all but 44 seconds of that game. The Tops led. It was fantastic. That one I did not watch. I just had to kind of follow on the GameCast. They've got some fantastic players, Purdue does, and they're gonna be hard to beat this year. I mean, they just upset number 17 Louisville the other night, which, even though I attended the University of Louisville for law school, and they are typically my second team, I was heavily rooting against them in that Purdue game because I wanted the Tops win to look better. And in the Purdue game, we had a really balanced effort from Justin Johnson, Tavion Hollingsworth, Darius Thompson, all averaging in double figures, or all scoring in double figures. Justin Johnson was an absolute beast. He had 3 fouls, so he's a little rough, but he scored 17 points, had a block, had an assist, only 1 turnover, and he played 35 minutes. That Purdue that was our first ranked win, I want to say in 8 years, according to WKU Stats and Info. Who, if you haven't followed if you haven't followed WKU Stats and Info yet on Twitter, everybody go and do it because they come up with some great stuff. Then you had SMU, which I know they weren't ranked coming into that game, but they're a conference team, or not a conference team, an NCAA competitor. Last year made some noise, and thank you, Mr. Jake Omer, for that last second 3, which was all over the internet. I mean, it was just, like Mike White was tweeting about it, Brandon Dowdy was watching, like all kinds of cool stuff. That was awesome. It's worth noting that in that game, Omer only had he had 9 points, so he for a freshman that's really good. But that late 3 really was awesome, and Western won that one 63-61, SMU. And then last night, so I saw this game. I watched every minute of it, and first off, shout out to the WKU students and the student section. Devin, I don't know if you remember how the student section used to be, but they had, behind one of the baskets, there were the bleachers, like those risers.
Oh, yeah.
And then behind were, bleachers and chairbacks or whatever. When I used to go to games, from like 11 to 14, we could probably fill up the student section, with maybe 50, 60 people, and then sprinkle in the behind. But that was about it. Last night had a little over 5,500 people in the stands on a Wednesday night now.
Wow.
It's the biggest crowd of the year, so they're only going to get bigger because that was a Wednesday. Now, it's against DKU, so, it's a rivalry. But I'm going to go ahead and say half of that were students. It was packed. And if you go around Twitter, if you look at all the pictures, Facebook that were on, you can see the students absolutely showed out. It was loud. It was a great atmosphere. And most of you probably know, Western's fan base is not the youngest in the world, especially their basketball fan base. So it's really good to see students up and yelling and being rowdy. I don't know if you do you know who Red Towel Guy is?
Yeah, I've seen several of his tweets on Twitter, but I couldn't tell you who.
Okay, so I've never actually met the dude. I've never went down and talked to him. I see him at football games all the time, but he has a full suit of sewn towels that he wears to games.
That is awesome.
It's amazing, and it's held up pretty good. He's pretty funny on Twitter, but yeah, he was there, leading the charge. It was an amazing atmosphere, and bottom line, we beat the absolute brakes off of the Colonels.
Hey, I'm good with that. Anytime we do that.
Well, and it's actually the largest margin of victory since like 1967 in this series. Beat them 83-51. Tops are now 5-2 on the season. Here's another crazy stat. So we have, currently eligible, we have 7 scholarship players. Tyler Miller's a walk-on, so he doesn't actually have a scholarship, but he gives us really good minutes. All of the scholarship players scored in double figures last night. 10, 11,
wow.
16, 14, 11, 10, 11. Monstrously cool. I mean to tell you, it wasn't even a game. And they played sloppy. They wanted to kind of run around and, just have a good time at first. But once they locked down, especially after the half, oh my gosh.
Hey, honestly, it sounds bad, but with a team like Eastern, I'm fine with them kind of playing ball and just having a good time.
Which they did.
This is the game to do that. Yeah,
that's true. It was funny because Eastern's got this player Nick Mayo, which great name, Mr. Condiment. Who's really good. He's averaging like 19 points a game in the OVC. He's kind of their stud. And
yeah, his nickname is Miracle Whip though, isn't it, or something? Or was that somebody else?
I mean, it ought to be. But listen, this dude who came in. He's a forward, big dude. He played 37 minutes last night. That's almost 10 more than any other player they had, and he only scored 7 points.
Wow.
2 fouls, 7 points. Now he had 5 rebounds. That's pretty good. But he went 3 from 12 shooting, locked him straight down. They're running this like 1-3-1 zone right now with a high trap, and it gave. Now, we may not be able to do it against more athletic teams or better passing teams. Fair enough.
Yeah.
But against Eastern, it was causing all kinds of problems. I mean to tell you. And not only that, we shot. You will not see a better shooting game than the Tops had last night. They went 10 of 18 from 3. And in field goals in general, they shot 56.7%, 34 of 60. It was a clinic.
That was awesome.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Well, I'm hoping for next week to be the same when they play Wright State. Those are the Wright State Raiders, and I hope that's the same because honestly, I've never heard of them before.
I have heard of Wright State. They've been to the NCAA tournament a couple times. They're not really highly ranked this year. They will be in Diddle on Saturday, this coming Saturday. If anybody's going, I'm going to try to at least pop in for a little bit. We have got to, as that's kind of the other thing I want to talk about, is right now, Western, as it stands, we have some good wins. We've got a ranked win over Purdue. We need Purdue to finish out the season strong. We've got a good win over SMU. We need them to finish out strong. But as it stands, we're going to need some help to get an at-large bid. Now, we can always get in auto bid winning the tournament, which, it's how we've gotten in the last 2 times. That that time Western won 5 games in 5 days. That was just crazy. Or was it 3-3? I can't remember what it was, but it was just wild. We set a record for most games played in a row to get into the NCAA tournament. I want to say that was 2013. 12 or 13. I can't remember which one.
Yeah, you got me on that one.
Yeah, I don't remember. I know I was watching at the fraternity brother's house. But anyways, the only other real marquee game that the Tops have is on December 13th at Wisconsin. Now, they're not ranked right now. They've been having a little bit of a down season at 3-5. But they're where do I have them? Ken Palm's got them ranked 32. I don't know where they sit in the RPI right now. Western was actually pretty high in the RPI, like 23rd, which is impressive. You get a win at Wisconsin, and you come out as the regular season conference champs. I don't think you need the auto bid from the conference tournament. If we struggle down the stretch or get to double-digit losses, then we're going to have to win the conference championship in order to go. Which is fine. We've done that before, but you don't want to force the issue because anything can happen when you're talking about the Conference USA tournament.
Yeah, I think we've still got a pretty good shot in the tournament. I don't know how everybody else is doing. Yeah, let's see. Conference USA looks like Western has the highest. Well, Old Dominion and Western have the best record so far.
Really?
They're 5-2, and Louisiana Tech's 5-1.
Oh, okay. I for some reason I felt like La Tech hadn't lost, but then I know they lost to Alabama the other night in a heartbreak.
Looks like Marshall, North Texas, UAB, UT San Antonio are all 4-3. Charlotte, Florida
good.
Atlantic are 3-3. Florida International, and Southern Miss are 3-4. Rice and UTEP are 2-5 and 1-5 respectively. So.
Oh, okay. Wow.
So,
yeah, the UTEP
so
coach
far,
resigned the other day.
Well, that's not surprising. I mean,
right.
I think he's going to Tennessee, though, isn't he?
Probably. He's probably next on the list.
Yeah.
Put him on there.
So breaking news: UTEP's basketball coach has signed up to coach football at Tennessee.
Whose name we don't even know, but he's probably better than Butch Jones.
Yeah, and actually, we will have some breaking news later in the episode as far as candidates for the Tennessee job. So,
Yeah.
just so y'all know. Actually, I think we're up to that point right now. Unless you have some more basketball news to talk about.
You know what? I do not.
I know it's kind of a shorter show. Excuse me. Now that we don't have football, so it's not as much back and forth.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. So I will throw out my 4 names, and if you have anybody to add, this is going to be our Mount Rushmore of worst coaches for Tennessee to hire. First off, we have Coach Klein from the Southwest Louisiana State University, Mud Dogs. He's probably going to be one of the better picks for them. Next, you're going to have Coach Norton. He actually coached high school. He's actually from the movie Saving Silverman, just in case anybody's wondering. That is a great movie.
That's Marley Ermy, right?
Yeah. Hey, let me tell you, any coach that is willing to go to jail just for a 4th down call should actually get the Tennessee job. Next coach we have is Jimmy McGinty. He coached the Washington Sentinels. He famously led Keanu Reeves and a bunch of other scab players to the playoffs. So, hey, congratulations to him.
The only thing I remember about that team are the cheerleaders.
Oh my God, the cheerleaders were so hot. And the last coach I've got is Coach Bud Kilmer from Varsity Blues. And I think the only problem we'll have there is with the training staff having problems with his issue with players' health.
That's right.
But other than that, I think he'll be a great hire for Tennessee.
I don't want your life.
Yeah. You might as well laugh and cry about this whole mess because the fans of Tennessee have made that a joke.
Seriously, have you seen them begging for Lane Kiffin to come back?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and he basically shot him a bird and
He's
said,
he's trolling.
F you guys.
Come to the FAU. Like, golly. Lane Kiffin, though, I will have to say this. Look, now that he's divorced and just drinking heavily constantly, can you imagine the shenanigans he's getting into in South Florida? Like, in Boca Raton. I can't even... How he's not arrested yet, I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a Lane Kiffin fan. I personally loathe him. For me, he's up there with, like, Tim Tebow. I loathe Tim Tebow, too. But at the same time, they're actually, like, opposite ends of the spectrum. Have you seen what is it? Is it Tom Tebow on Twitter? Have you seen that one?
I think I've seen Tom.
It's like evil twin.
I like Tom Tebow.
I love it.
And I'll tell you who else is really good. Dadgum Roy, who is Roy Williams spoof from North Carolina.
So I was gonna make a Blaine Kiffin Twitter.
Yes, please do.
And just do like the very fake mustache on Lane Kiffin's face and eyebrows.
Yeah, well, like they did with when Tom Brady got his suspension. Oh yeah, I'm Schmom Tatey, this backup quarterback that you've never heard of. Yes, Schmom Tatey.
Exactly.
Yes, I have a lovely mustache. Yes, I do. Thank you.
That actually reminds me of the Deion Sanders commercial. You gotta love that too.
Dude, I don't even think I know which one you're talking about.
You don't know what that one is? That was, gosh, look it up. There's a Deion Sanders commercial where they were talking about how he couldn't make the NFL Combine anymore, and so he wears an afro and a very fake mustache and goes out there and competes on the NFL Combine. Check that out. That is hilarious.
Guarantee it, man. Guarantee it.
Oh, yeah.
Well, do you have anything
so
else, Evan?
That's what I was going to say to you. No, I have nothing else. Let's just, let's see. Western plays again. Let me check. See. Sorry.
Saturday.
Yes. Sorry.
No, you're fine. Yep.
Yeah, they play Wright State, and then they play again the 10th. They play Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
The guys do. Girls play. Crap. I got too excited about my list.
It was a good list. It's a very good list.
I liked it. I thought it was a good list. Okay.
It's a good list. It's a great list.
I know. I feel like Linda from Bob's Burgers. I thought it was a good list. My bubble was completely burst when I found out that was a guy that does her voice.
Did not know that, but I can totally see it.
Girls play Evansville tonight. Sorry. And then they got Southern Illinois on the 10th. And Mississippi Valley on the 12th. So if you don't pay attention, listen here, and we'll keep you updated on everything.
Yes, we will. And right now, I can tell you, as of 2 minutes ago, speaking of the Lady Tops in Evansville, just a final update. With a third quarter underway, WKU is leading Evansville 52-26. So they're rolling them.
Awesome. Well, that's everything on my list, bud.
Yep, and I'm done too. We'll see you guys next week for another Red Out podcast.